Good morning and welcome to Copper Coins Coin Roll Hunt Reveal E530, a 1959p original wrapped roll. How is everybody doing this morning? Got cool weather here in Southwest Florida. It is full sun and 60 degrees. Supposed to be a high of 68 today. I am dressed in layers. I am not fond of cold weather anymore. Used to love it. Wait for a couple of people to join in and we will get this roll started. There are a few varieties, not a ton for 59p, but there are two FS listed varieties and we can't find them if we don't look for them. So that is the strategy behind this roll. We will look at the obverse and reverse on the first 10 coins, and then after I learn what die pairs are in the roll, I will look at new die pairs only. I do go over these coins a second time, so if I do miss anything, I usually catch it. But we'll wait for a couple of people to stroll in, and we'll get it started. Hope everybody had a wonderful holiday yesterday. I know I did. Ate too much and sat too much, but my back is starting to get better, even though my office chair seems to be the one thing that causes a problem with it. So I'm going to go ahead and open this roll and we'll go from there. Good morning. Oh, I sure did. You have a few questions. All right, well shoot, hopefully I have a few answers. And we got people strolling in, just not chatting. I have got to let my little dog out, and this is going to kill me. She heard Mama open the fridge, and she wants out to go investigate now. Hurry up, go on. All right, we are going to get this rolling with coin number 1. And look at that, it's for Jim. And nearly if ever we have What do you mean unseated? You mean replaced? Photos replaced? Yes, a couple times. But usually, like the one, I just did one, and it was, the new coin came from Nanostacks. The old coin, I don't remember who it was from. But it was a really spotty, ugly coin, and it was like a onesie. As far as I know, all your coins are still in there. Now, we have had coins that have gotten plate coin listings that have been found out to be other dies, and sometimes they is duplicates don't get relisted. But can't remember, but I don't think that has happened with me yet. But that is a possibility too. But for the most part, most of the coins, once they're up there, it has to be a real gem coin to unseat it. Hope that answers your question. But for the most part, no, they don't get unseated. It has to be a really ugly coin. And it's weird you ask that, because I literally just, like within this week, did one. For some reason, I think it was 1mm 187 in 1960D. Coin 3 for Sissy. Are a couple doubled eyelids. We don't have any listed. This, I believe, is the same die pair as the first coin in the roll. Okay, it's hard to believe that we've had, well, just under 1,400 reveals between myself and Chuck. Kind of crazy, huh? 75 in pennies, baby. Welcome. Hope everybody had a wonderful holiday. Looked like Jim did. I saw some Facebook posts of him. He looked like he was having fun. Little clash. Pretty well struck coins here. Absolutely a good question. And there's no real bad questions. Coin number 5, Taco John. So far, we've got nothing in the roll. Not a surprise. I do plan on doing a 56D roll tomorrow. Probably do the 46S roll on Sunday. Gonna try and get a few more packages out next week. Then, depending on how it goes, I might wait until after Christmas to mail packages. What would I say the top 2 rolls to be on the lookout from the 60s and 70s and 80s? Well, the best coins, I mean, 60D, you can't go wrong. Getting 60D, 61D, 69S. A little struck through right there. 70, I would say 72. 70S, 71P will probably be the top rolls for 70. And that's as far as rolls that you would be searching for varieties in. Not necessarily rolls of value. Because if it was rolls of value, it would be 60 small date. Then 69S, I think, is a little valuable compared to other rolls of the decade. And then the 80s, I would have to say 82 or 83, 84, 86, 86D. AZ coins, welcome. Those would be my picks for those decades. In the 90s, 93 for some reason tends to be a little valuable or overpriced, but I think there wasn't a ton of them made. And I think that's why they command a little bit of a premium. Yeah, I know I always buy 60D rolls when I can get them, even though I don't need them. I probably got over 1,000 of them sitting here. That is, see, we're getting the same 3 or 4 die pairs throughout the roll. And this is a decent roll. If these coins were brighter, some of these, in a little, I mean, they're not graders, but they're well struck. And if they were a little brighter and cleaner, they would be graders. this should be... well, not. But ultimately, I don't think you can go wrong with the copper. Actually, I think rolls in general right now of Lincoln Cents are kind of hot. I haven't been buying a lot because the dealers used to just... I had about 10 dealers that when they got them, they would just send them to me. And now, obviously, they're getting hit up for them because I'm not getting... And I actually called a couple of them, and he says, I've been selling them in the shop. Which means that he's getting more money for them than I would be willing to pay. I do got a package of wheat cents coming. I bought 7 wheat rolls. And that's how I bought them. He says, I got 7 BU wheat rolls. And I said, what dates? And he didn't even tell me. He just said, I think there's a 55 and a 53D in there, but they're all BU wheat rolls. He says, I didn't really look at them. They're tied up in a mint sewn bag, or a mint bag, or an old bank bag, canvas bank bag. And I says, all right, well, ship them. Next coin for Carrie. Anybody got any big plans coming up for the holiday weekend? That's the one that's got the little clash. And the big gouge from the R. Third time we've seen this one. I felt lucky I got a box of coins from my neighbor. And that was a full box of 2023P. I've got to go through one of the rolls. Maybe there's something good in there to hunt. Nope, all right. Made the right decision. Yeah, look at, very well struck. Full steps. Coin 15, Stan. Any other questions? Anybody got any other questions? I would do my best to answer. I did end up sitting around watching movies with my wife yesterday, so I didn't end up doing a reveal. And it's funny, the one movie was pretty good, and I can't even tell you the name of it now, but it was the guy that was from the Reacher series with the guy that was, I think, Kevin James. Pretty fun movies. Pretty funny movie. Reminder again, tomorrow, it'll probably be more like noonish, but I got it scheduled for 1 o'clock. 56D roll was a request roll. We'll be doing. Ooh, nice, Jim. That's awesome. Like I said, I felt like I scored when I got my box. And like she says, man, I should be able to get you a box next week too. And this actually came from Brinks. It was dated But like she said, she says they told her they have no new coins sitting there that they haven't already processed. So she says what happened was somebody probably brought these coins and turned them in for cash. And then they just count them and reseal them. I know the box I got the 2 weeks before was customer wrapped rolls, and it was dated and stamped as a full box from Brinks. And it was all customer wrapped rolls. So have you searched any of them yet, Jim? I know the customer wrapped rolls that I got seem to be 2000, about 2008 or before. There were very, very few shield cents or the 2009 cents. The one roll I looked through had one shield cent in it. The rest were all pre-2008, and most of them were copper. So I'm guessing it was somebody's jug got emptied. Didn't find a wheat cent in there, so it's very possible that somebody searched these and took the wheat cents out, because I did find 2 varieties within the roll. Coin 23 for Tim. But yeah, that ain't bad at all. $65 worth. That's almost 3 boxes. That's pretty awesome. I would have been happy with that. Heck, anytime they get a score like that, I told her anytime you get any people bringing a whole bunch of stuff in, just let me know. And she says, well, she would. And she did say that they do box their own stuff up every now and then. Because I had told her, she says, when we quit boxing stuff up, do you want boxes? She says, we've probably got 500 penny boxes there. I says, you bet I do. Those penny boxes are expensive. I think the last time I bought them, it was 50 boxes for $49 or $40, something like that. And if you buy 10, it's like $35. Alright, that's what I thought. Little die crack there. Almost thought I saw an eyelid. That 2009 roll didn't disappoint. I was happy. I've got to go through a couple of those because I found 3 other varieties, and 2 of them I don't have in my collection. So I've got to get myself a copy of those. I've only got about 200 rolls in boxes that I have to go through that were sister rolls of stuff that I went through on reveals to put stuff in my own collection. That 82, there's a nice double die in 1982. And then if you got the small date small date zinc, there's a nice double die reverse. And even the 70s and late 70s rolls, Jim, nobody searches those, so there's probably tons of stuff to still be found. see. I thought I saw a little teeny double eyelid. That almost looks like one. Yeah, no, it definitely ain't that one. I've seen this die before, though. Nope, I'm not gonna. I'm thinking that's a little scratch. Coin 30, get my chat back up. Yeah, we are seeing repeaters all through this now. Haven't seen a new die pair in 15 coins or so. But it's great you have a relationship with the banker like that. Make sure you take her donuts or something. Because that was a pretty good thing. Pretty cool of her to do that. Or him. Guess I shouldn't assume that she was a she. The teller was a she. I had a great bank in Michigan that used to call every time they got a ton of coins in. She used to call even, I can remember her calling and saying that she got, oh God, and it was before people were doing silver on the silver dollars. $400, $430 in half dollars, and I bought them, and there was probably $60 in BU. Matter of fact, they were all BU, but $60 in BU 40 percenters. In it. But all of them were like rolls from the mint and stuff like that, not for circulation, and it was very cool. You know, I didn't do that. My kids were grown already at that point, but I got a lot of 2009 P rolls. I got tons of them. I did collect a lot of them, but I wish I would have. I wish my kids would have been like a few years younger. They were, for the most part, all grown up and out of the house. Nice. Very nice. I know I went to the bank. Like I say, I had a bank teller. I can remember, like, even up until 2001, actually till 2003, I can remember going there and saying, hey, can you get me a bag, a canvas bag of cents? And almost always they were mint sewn bags. And so I had mint sewn bags from like 97 all the way up. I would get them all the time. And you didn't necessarily get the latest ones because they had bags just laying around. And then after that, I got boxes. She would always say, I got boxes that got new coins on the end of them. And I would come and get them. You know that Jessica spent a lot of time going through the 2009 with her son. It's a great thing. As a matter of fact, I know a few people that had a lot of great bonding time with their kids going through them. I know that a neighbor of mine, a weird story, not about 2009, but in 1984, it actually started in 83 with him going through 1983 P rolls. And then he went through 84 P rolls, and they found about 70 of the doubled ears. I bet you that kid still got them too. Because when I started collecting coins, he says, "Oh yeah, I got all these." And I says, at that point you could buy a doubled ear for $10. But I wanted to find them. But I can remember saying, "Hey, I'll give you market value for them." And he'd say, "No, I'm keeping them. They're going to be worth money one day." And if they're in the condition that he found them in today, he's got $10,000 in his pocket if they were beautiful still. When I first started collecting die varieties, I did find FS 101 in a few rolls. And I probably still have some of those rolls. I just got to find them. I probably got 259P rolls. I did pull a second roll out. This one out, and I think there's two other wrappers, but this one was a Batdorf roll. So I pulled that one out for a future. I've been sorting through all my rolls. I think that's why my back has been toasty. You know, that was cool about they did that with the state quarters too. The post office would, they had cards that you could put the coins on that they would cancel. That was cool with the original state when they first, I don't know if they did it through all 50 states though. But for the first couple years, you could go to the post office and they did that. I got into the state quarters and made it to, I think, South Carolina, and then I lost interest. And then the presidential dollars, I think I bought the first 4, and then my bank quit carrying them because they couldn't get rid of them. You know, they would buy a box of them and sell 10 rolls to me. And they would be stuck with the rest, and finally they sent them all back. That was one thing that my credit union down here, they're real stingy with rolled coin. And one day she says, "We've got 4,000 presidential dollars," and they were all mint wrapped rolls. And I was like, "No thanks." Number one, I didn't... if I had 4,000 extra dollars to spare, I probably would have bought them. But I didn't. No, he was very... He was a strange bird. He knew those coins were... He thought they were going to be super valuable one day. And if I know him, he still has them. If he doesn't, it's because he sold them for $100 a piece. Because if I'm thinking about this, I think he did say, "You give me $100, I'll give you one," and there was no way. And they're worth more than $100 now in Gem BU condition. The problem is there's not many in Gem BU condition. They're all rotting away. Coin 48, Brad. I hear my wife going around the house locking doors. That means when I get done with this reveal, I'll have to go take the dogs out and unlock all the doors. And she hasn't heard one word, but I guarantee you she heard that. All right. right, nothing to speak of in this roll. Ooh, which one? The one to the north or the one that just has the thing coming out of the side? Paul Adams. Because I've got a gem example of, well, let me see. Let me look it up here real quick. Yeah, I would love to get an uncirculated example of OMM number 1. I've got a good example. Matter of fact, I got 2 beautiful examples of OMM number 2. Found them both at the Fun Show, of all places. And that is the roll. I want to thank everybody for joining. It's always a pleasure to hang out with you guys. And tomorrow, let's see here. What roll is this? Is that it? That's it right there. 1956D. Probably a little bit afternoon. We got Frostbite's broadcast in the morning. And then right after that, I will get things ready and do the 56D roll. Probably do this 46S roll on Sunday. So I hope to see you there. And if I don't, I will see you out in the neighborhood. We'll talk to you all later.